Most travelers think of a cruise cabin as nothing more than a place to sleep, shower, and store a suitcase. But behind that door is a surprisingly important part of the entire cruise experience. The layout, the bed, the storage, the balcony, and even the bathroom can shape how comfortable, convenient, and relaxing your vacation feels from day one. Small details that seem minor before booking can quickly turn into major benefits or daily frustrations once you are on board. Whether you are sailing for the first time or already know your way around a ship, understanding how cruise cabins really work will help you choose wisely, avoid common mistakes, and get more comfort, value, and enjoyment from every night at sea. If you do not want to miss any more cruise tips, make sure to subscribe to Cruise Adventure and turn on the bell so you never miss a new video. Number 1. Cabin design and construction. Cruise cabins may look simple, but they are built very differently from the rooms most people are used to at home. Unlike a house or hotel, a cruise ship has to handle constant humidity, non-stop use, and thousands of guests moving through the same spaces every year. That is why cruise lines do not rely on delicate materials that would quickly show damage. Instead, most cabins are built with metal or metal-backed wall panels, along with durable surfaces that are easy to wipe clean and designed to stand up to moisture, scuffs, and everyday wear. This stronger construction creates a hidden advantage that many experienced cruisers love. Because there is often steel behind the finished walls, parts of the cabin can be magnetic. That means a few strong magnetic hooks can instantly give you more storage space without taking up room on the desk or counter. You can use them for hats, lanyards, daily planners, lightweight bags, or even damp swimwear. In a small cabin, that simple trick can make the space feel much more organized and comfortable. Number 2. Cabin bathrooms. Step into a cruise cabin bathroom and one thing becomes obvious right away. It is built for durability, not decoration. Every surface is designed to handle constant moisture, frequent cleaning, and heavy daily use with as little wear as possible. Instead of painted walls and delicate finishes, you will usually find laminates, composites, and metal surfaces that can be wiped down quickly and hold up well over time. Floors are sealed, thresholds are slightly raised, and the space is designed to manage splashes or small overflows without affecting the rest of the cabin. Then there is the toilet, which works very differently from the one you have at home. Cruise ships use a powerful vacuum system, which is why the flush is so loud and sudden. It may be efficient, but it is also sensitive. That means only toilet paper should ever be flushed. Wipes and other items can clog the system and create problems for multiple cabins. So this is one rule every cruiser should take seriously. Number 3. Hidden sleeping capacity. Walk into a standard cruise cabin, and it does not seem like the numbers make sense. You see one large bed, a desk, maybe a small sofa, and not much open space left to move around. At first glance, it looks like a room designed for 2 people at most. Yet cruise lines often sell these same cabins to families of 3 or even 4. The reason is simple. Much of the sleeping space is hidden in furniture that changes function one evening arrives. In many cabins, the sofa converts into a bed for a 3rd guest, either by folding out or pulling from underneath. For a 4th passenger, the extra bed often comes from a Pullman bunk that folds down from the wall or ceiling and includes a ladder and safety rail. This smart use of vertical space keeps the cabin usable during the day. But once all beds are set up at night, the room can feel much smaller, and moving around becomes far less easy. Number 4. Bed configuration and storage secrets. When you book a cruise, you are often asked to choose your bed setup: one large bed or 2 separate twins. What many travelers do not realize is that most cruise cabin beds are actually designed as 2 twins from the start. They can be placed together or separated, depending on your request. When pushed together, they are usually secured with straps, clamps, or a mattress bridge to create a more stable sleeping surface. So if you enter your cabin and the setup is not what you expected, there is usually no reason to worry. Your cabin steward can often fix it quickly. Cruise cabins are also designed to make the most of limited storage space. Most rooms include a closet for hanging clothes, drawers at the desk or vanity, and a few shelves in the bathroom for smaller items. But the storage spot many guests overlook is under the bed. In most cabins, the bed frame is raised high enough to slide standard suitcases underneath. This is one of the easiest ways to keep the floor clear and make the room feel less crowded. One more thing to know is that cruise mattresses can feel quite firm, so if you prefer a softer bed, ask early about a mattress topper. Number 5. Lighting controls. Modern cruise ship lighting is designed to be convenient, but for first-time cruisers, it can be more confusing than expected. In many cabins, there is a master switch or card slot near the door that controls some or all of the lights. On certain ships, removing the card will switch the lights off and may also affect selected outlets. Because these systems vary from one ship to another, it is worth figuring out how your cabin works before assuming your devices will keep charging while you are out. Many cabins also have several light switches placed around the bed, including buttons that control reading lights, ceiling lights, or all the lights at once. That can be useful, but it can also lead to a rude surprise on the first morning if you press the wrong one while half asleep. Taking a minute on the first night to learn which switch does what can save you from a very bright wake-up. Number 6. Power outlets and safety. Modern travel means bringing more devices than ever. Phones, smartwatches, tablets, cameras, and battery packs all need to be charged, usually at the same time, and often overnight. On newer cruise ships, that is less of a problem because many cabins now include several power outlets and USB ports, sometimes even close to the bed. On older ships, though, the setup can be far less convenient. Some cabins have only a small number of outlets, and they are often grouped around the desk or vanity rather than where you actually want them. That is why many travelers think about bringing a power strip, but this is where an important cruise rule comes in. Most standard household power strips with surge protection are not allowed on board and can be taken away during security screening. Cruise lines treat them as a fire risk in a marine environment. A safer and smarter option is to bring a USB charging hub or a non-surge charging block that gives you extra ports without breaking the rules. Number 7. Climate control. When guests first walk into their cabin, one of the first things they often do is adjust the thermostat. It feels like the fastest way to get comfortable. But on many cruise ships, that control does not have as much power as people expect. On older and mid-generation vessels, cabin temperature is often managed by a central system that serves a whole section of rooms, rather than each cabin independently. The thermostat may light up, click, or let you change the fan speed, but it usually has only limited control over the actual temperature coming into the room. If the cabin feels too cold or too warm and the thermostat is not helping, the better solution is often above you. Many cabins have adjustable air vents in the ceiling, and a simple twist can reduce the airflow or redirect it away from the bed. That can make a big difference almost immediately. On newer ships, another issue is common. If the balcony door is not fully closed and latched, the air conditioning may stop working altogether. Even a slightly misaligned handle can shut the system down, so always check the door first if the cabin suddenly feels stuffy. Number 8. Food, mini-fridge, and medical needs. Cruises revolve around food, but many first-time passengers still assume meals need to be eaten only in restaurants or buffet areas. In reality, cabins are often used for dining as well. Room service is the obvious option, though it may come with a fee depending on the cruise line. But on most ships, guests are also allowed to bring food from casual spots, like the buffet or pool deck, back to their cabin. A quiet breakfast in the room or out on the balcony can be one of the most relaxing parts of the day, and used dishes are usually collected during regular cabin service. The bigger issue is keeping anything cold. The small unit under the desk may look like a refrigerator, But on many ships, it works more like a beverage cooler than a true fridge. It may keep drinks cool, but it is not always cold enough for perishable food or sensitive medication. That is important for guests who need to store items like insulin safely. If you have medical needs, it is best to contact the cruise line before sailing and ask about proper refrigerated storage. The same goes for CPAP users who need distilled water and should never assume it will be waiting in the cabin. Number 9. Cabin TV reality. Every cruise cabin comes with a television, but it is important to keep your expectations realistic. In most cases, it is not there to deliver a full home-style entertainment experience. Its most useful role is practical. On many ships, the TV lets you check your onboard account, review the daily schedule, watch the ship's location, or access other useful information without leaving the room. That makes it more helpful than exciting. When it comes to regular viewing, the options are usually limited. You may get a few international news channels, a sports feed, and several ship-related channels, along with a small movie selection on some vessels. But the choices vary widely. If you want reliable entertainment, it is much smarter to download shows or movies before your cruise begins. Number 10. Balcony usage and value. Booking a balcony cabin is a dream for many cruise travelers. The photos make it look like the perfect upgrade and the only real way to enjoy the ocean. But in practice, balconies are often used far less than people expect. On many sailings, especially those filled with port stops, private balconies sit empty for most of the day. Guests are out exploring, eating, watching shows, or spending time by the pool, which means the cabin often becomes little more than a place to sleep and get ready. One of the easiest ways to see this is during a port day. Look up at the ship, and you will usually notice that only a small number of balconies are actually being used. That is why the extra cost does not always bring the value people imagine. On shorter cruises of 4 days or less, the cabin is often just a base, so an inside room can be the smarter choice. On longer sailings, especially those with several sea days, a balcony becomes much more appealing because it gives you quiet outdoor space away from the crowds. There is also one booking detail many travelers miss. Some ships now offer cabins called infinite verandas or sunrooms. These are not traditional balconies. Instead of stepping outside, part of the room opens with a large window. If you want a true open-air balcony with a real ocean breeze, always double-check the exact cabin type before you book. Number 11. Cabin turnover and hygiene. Walking into your cabin on embarkation day can make it feel like you are the very first person to use it. The bed is neatly made, the bathroom looks spotless, and everything feels fresh and ready. But the reality is very different. Just a few hours earlier, another group of passengers may have been sleeping in that same bed, using that same bathroom, and packing up their belongings before leaving the ship. The speed at which that space is cleaned and reset is one of the biggest hidden operations on any cruise. Once passengers disembark, the crew has only a short window to strip the beds, clean the bathroom, disinfect surfaces, vacuum the floor, and prepare the cabin for the next guests. It is an enormous task, repeated thousands of times in a single day. Cabins are cleaned according to ship sanitation procedures, but the turnaround is so fast that small things can occasionally be missed. That is why some experienced cruisers like to wipe down high-touch surfaces, such as the TV remote, phone, and light switches when they first arrive. Number 12. Suites versus standard cabins. A standard balcony cabin can be comfortable and practical, but on many ships there is another level of accommodation hidden farther down the hallway. These are the suites, and in some cases they are part of what cruise lines call a ship-within-a-ship experience. They can cost several times more than a regular cabin, and the difference is often obvious the moment you step inside. Instead of one compact room, suites may offer separate bedrooms, a larger living area, a dining table, a much bigger balcony, and on some ships even extras like a private hot tub. The room itself is only part of the upgrade. Many suites also come with added benefits such as concierge service, butler-style assistance, priority boarding, reserved dining, upgraded Wi-Fi, or included drinks. Exactly what is included depends on the cruise line and the suite category, which is why these bookings can feel much more exclusive than a standard cabin. Still, it is worth thinking carefully about the value. The ocean view does not completely change just because you paid more, and the experience of being at sea is still available from a regular balcony cabin. For the price of one luxury suite, many travelers could book more than one cruise in a standard room. For some people, that makes the decision much easier. Number 13. The wind tunnel effect. Opening the balcony door to let in fresh sea air sounds like a great idea, and in many moments it is. But there is one cabin quirk that catches a lot of cruisers by surprise. If the balcony door is open and the main cabin door is opened at the same time, the cabin can suddenly turn into a wind tunnel. Air rushes through the room as the pressure changes between the hallway and the outside of the ship, and that movement can be much stronger than people expect. When it happens, papers can fly off the desk, curtains can whip around, and doors may swing or slam with surprising force. In some cases, that can even create a risk of pinched fingers or a loss of balance. Experienced cruisers learn to treat the cabin like an airlock. Before opening the hallway door, always make sure the balcony door is fully closed and secured. It is a simple habit that prevents a lot of chaos. As simple as they may seem, cruise cabins are full of details that can have a real impact on your trip. From the way the room is built to the firmness of the bed, from hidden storage space to balcony value, the small things often matter much more than people expect. Knowing how these cabins really work can help you avoid common mistakes, make smarter booking choices, and get much more comfort out of the space you have. Whether you choose an inside cabin, a balcony, or a suite, the best experience usually starts with understanding what you are actually paying for. A little knowledge before you book can save money, reduce frustration, and make your cruise feel much more enjoyable from the very first day on board. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments if there is a cruise cabin tip or hidden trick that you always use. And if you do not want to miss more cruise advice, be sure to subscribe to Cruise Adventure and turn on the bell so you never miss a new video. Happy sailing!